Hello, everybody on the interwebs. Thank you for coming and joining us.
Yay!
Thank you, everyone, for playing tonight. I've run this adventure before with great effect, and I'm very excited to be running it for you guys, my friends. And thank you for everyone coming on the journey with us. Say hello in the comments, and subscribe and hit the notifications and all that on YouTube if you're there. What's that picture in the corner? Quick, put that in the comments. If you're the first person to put that in the comments, we'll say, wow, you were fast.
It's the Millennium Falcon.
It is. It's definitely the Millennium Falcon. You should believe, Derek. Fantastic. While people are quickly typing that in the comments.
Quick interaction is just to misname a Star Wars ship.
That's right. yes.
Look at this. The Millennium Falcon. Everyone's like, you're an idiot. I'm like, haha.
Oh my God.
Interaction.
That's right.
That is the Enterprise.
That's right, yes.
Hitting both.
Starbucks says that's the Enterprise. Absolutely.
Had a nerd
fantastic.
Right there.
We are having an adventure on the Tantive 4, which is what the ship is. And
is that the Tantive 4? That
is the Tantive 4.
Famous from such movies as Rogue One.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And episode 4 of Star Wars. It's a well-known, well-loved ship that didn't last very long. It hadn't had enough time to get across the screen and sort of try to get out of shot, but run out of steam.
Can I say probably the most impressive ship, because it's the one that everyone remembers the most. Like, you think about it, it's like the one thing that kind of like it started everything. You know what I mean? Without that entrance scene.
Yeah. I did not, however, know its name until I ran this adventure. I was prepping to run this adventure recently. So
really?
Yeah. No, I had never had reason to. I don't think anyone says, quick, that sounds like the engine blowing up in our ship, the Tantive 4. Didn't really have much call for it. And then it vanishes and never appears again. There were great questions about what actually happened to it. But it does appear later. It does appear later in the other movies. So, our 3 brave but relatively unimportant crew members are being played by Nathan, Johnny, and Derek, who are going to introduce their characters before we start. And the tone of this game, for everyone playing at home, is relatively serious-ish. And relatively, for Star Wars. Star Wars can never be,
as serious as you can, wearing one of those hats. You know, the hats they wore in the bucket, upside down bucket welder hat. Yeah. So as serious as you can be wearing a hat that fashionable.
That's right.
Yep.
A serious game, eh? I got a bad feeling about this.
Is the Tantive 4 the one that is famous, the doors not being tall enough?
No, that's
as in the stormtrooper bangs his head. That's on the Death Star,
That was on the Death Star, yes.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. The dwarves, the droids, another franchise, hold up in like a control room thing while Luke and everyone shimmies around, and stormtroopers come into the room and say, rah, 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 rah.
Totally the Death Star.
Yeah. All right. If you'd like to argue about this in the comments and then compare someone else's comment to a significant world event, go ahead right now.
So when you're looking at safety concerns, the Tantive 5 is known for not having enough escape modules.
That's right.
Are functional. Yeah. So,
that's right.
You're going to weigh everything up. It evens out in the end, I tell you what.
That's right. Fantastic. So, Nathan, your character.
My character is Dax Ran. He is he's an interesting gentleman. He is a very much a computer person. So always stuck in the computers, trying to fix everything. Very, as much as he knows a little bit of hand-to-hand, but he's just very much just stuck into, making sure everything works and the automation and the doors work, per se. So, just making sure that computer data is, looked after. Especially, and you can imagine on the Tantive 4 now, you might think it's a very important thing to be able to contain and, push people off. Imagine if somebody was trying to look through the data and they didn't know if it was there or not. That's
proper
cybersecurity is where he's all at.
I love it. Remember that. That sounds great. Johnny?
I'm playing Zara Booty.
I'm praying.
Now there's
I'm praying that the ship doesn't get destroyed by the end of this adventure. I have a bad feeling.
Zadara Booty.
I'm playing Zara Booty.
Yep.
And Zara is an
Zadara?
engineer.
You said Zadara before. Is it still Zadara?
Zara.
Oh. Sorry, I wrote down Zadara. I thought that was very okay. Good, Zara,
That would have
excellent.
been cool, but no.
Okay.
I mean, I can change it if you want.
Change it to Zadara. Your Dungeon Master games, whatever thingy says it is. Tell us in the comments below what a Dungeon Master for Star Wars D6 is.
Don't say disappointing. I know it's really an easy joke.
Oh,
We're serious.
Now they have to.
Hats on serious.
What's your skill set, Johnny? What do you like?
so she's an engineer. So she's good at repairing the ship, repairing the droids, working with the droids. A lot of her best friends are droids.
Yeah.
She might be a droid.
She might be. No one's
Excellent.
quite sure.
We get on
she's
really
also
well.
she's also pretty good with blasters and that kind of situations. She's
Excellent.
not to be messed with.
So-
Nice.
Dak Ran.
All right.
Did you actually say your name before, Nathan? Maybe you did.
Yeah, yes,
Dak Ran.
Dak
Yes.
Ran.
Zadara Vuti. Very cool. And Derek?
I am playing Lif Argon, who is a brash pilot from some backwater planet that I've escaped from because my aunt and uncle made me drink blue milk. And I'm
sounds
I'm a
familiar.
wannabe pilot, and good bit of skills in shooting stuff, shooting womp rats from my T-13, and they're not much bigger than 2 meters.
You're
And,
fitting those references in thick and fast. He's getting them out of his system. That's what he's doing.
Yes.
He won't be saying
yes.
any more references like that for ages.
Love a bit of skullduggery and gambling and things like that.
So, what the heck are you doing on the Tantive 4 then? Are you actually in the hapless gets shot by stormtroopers group of those guards?
Oh, quite possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
With
Good.
those really weird pointy
Hats.
helmets.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Good. You're one of those. It doesn't start out very well for you then. Excellent. I love it. So that's our characters. We know our ship. I have a detailed layout of the ship here on paper, which I shan't be sharing with the players. You'll have to just find their way around because they're used to their own personal areas and areas of responsibility.
Not a
But
big ship, if I was to say.
it's not a big ship. It is actually a fair bit bigger than you just would imagine. I mean, we don't see very much of it in the movies.
Yeah, but the entire thing does fit inside a little docking bay in one of the
It does in the
Star Destroyers,
in a
so-
Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I reckon it's not such a small docking bay.
Okay.
I think the Tantive far 4, you can correct us in the comments if you're wrong, is something like 157 meters long or something. So,
Okay.
yeah, quite big compared to your average kind of house.
How many escape pods does it have?
Yeah. It's a
It
safety concern.
has maximum capacity escape pods. It has 4 big ones and 4 big escape pods, and that's all. Which is an interesting way of doing it. So it's get all the crew in them and then get them off once you're all set. Kind of like seating 12 kind of thing.
Or 2 droids.
So not enough to carry the whole crew. Yes, or just 2 droids who rack off selfishly by themselves. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on.
Questions are
How
asked.
many people are on? Is it more than 48 or less than 48?
Yeah, many more than 48.
This is like the
Titanic of space.
Titanic. Yeah.
That's right. You can't quite believe so much has happened in just about, maybe it's 5 hours or so. Just 5 hours ago, you were on your way back from Coruscant to Alderaan, carrying the princess, no less.
On a diplomatic
Quite.
mission.
Quite an honor. Well, ostensibly a diplomatic mission indeed. You're not sure what actually happened on Alderaan, but something obviously did. And they've been running the engines hot for a good 6 hours or so. There's literally been smoke coming out of them, Johnny. And Zadara's been doing her best to keep them running smoothly. The main generator was strained and smoking, and you just kept pushing it. That was the orders from above, and that's what you did despite your protestations. No one really listens to the lower decks anyway.
No.
All seemed good. Home was surely close, the safety of one of the biggest alliance planets. The Empire's evil tendrils will never reach Alderaan, you are sure. There, hope lives, truth perseveres, freedom to go on living a normal life remains. You were so close. And then they came. First it was the sounds of heavy ship-to-ship cannons grazing the hull. The Tantive 4 has good deflectors. At least, had good deflectors. Whatever it was that was hitting you made short work of the deflectors, that's all you know. And then, when the main generator was overloaded, you knew it was only a matter of time until they came through the main airlock. The crew resisted. Man for man, they were brought down. They can't really aim with that dreadful armor on, but there were just so many of them. The crew resisted, but then he came. That man, that beast of darkness. They say he was once a Jedi, but now only darkness surrounds him, a darkness you can feel in your heart. They call him Lord. He is a lord of darkness. He made short work of those who continued to resist. You're not even sure whether the princess made it off the ship, or if the rumored special cargo was hidden from them. You have been held up in a food locker storage for a few hours now.
Like Hero.
Down, that's right, down on deck 3. Who would be fool enough to hide in such a cold place? Seems like you would be. It wasn't so dark to begin with. There was light shining in from the kitchen. And then it looks like they shut down the auxiliary power. All the corridor little floor lights went down, the glowy panels on the walls went down, and it really started to get cold. Seems like life support has been turned off too. And what little warmth left in this Corellian Corvette is leaking out into space. It's cold and getting colder. It's dark. In fact, it's pitch black. Did you have a question, Nathan?
Yeah, can I do a hack on the, do a natural, repair on the systems, computer systems, to see if I can get auxiliary power back?
Many opportunities for that will come. Okay. So yes, let me finish my fantastically crafted narration first.
Drafted.
This is not an interactive experience. Yeah, that's right. Box text.
Continue.
It's getting dark and cold, pitch black. If you could just find a light block and a weapon and a way out of here. That's crazy talk, I suppose. But then, what's the point in staying and slowly dying? I mean, death's not a problem. You're happy to embrace the living force and to slide through to the other side that your mentor always talked about. There's no pain in that. But at least you should resist. Fight on! That's the point of a resistance, isn't it? To do some damage on the way out, to make them sting. To ensure that others might live to fight another day. If there is some special cargo on this vessel somewhere, maybe you should find it and deliver it. Or at least destroy it. So they and him, that Lord of Darkness, Lord Vader, doesn't get his hands on it. Damn it. Resist. Fight on while you can. That's the only option. For Alderaan. For the princess. Excellent. So you are in a cool room at the back of the kitchen in, what is now pitch blackness. So Derek's character, Liff, you're dressed in one of those guard outfits.
Oh, yep.
And presumably your courage gave way instantly. And instead of doing what was filmed in the movies at the beginning of episode 4, you slunk away in shame and horror at your inability to actually face bravely what you always thought you were probably going to face. Or maybe there was always doubts inside. What actually happened to get you into this food locker?
To get me into the food locker, well, I did get separated from the other people. We all were rushing up to defend the airlock area, and I tripped and fell and kind of knocked my head and lost my helmet. And I figured, well, I can't go into battle with the helmet, so I'll just find somewhere to hide. And
Excellent.
And that was where I kind of turned tail and made my way into the mess hall. And then through the mess hall, beyond that was the kitchen. And beyond the kitchen was this cold locker storage. And I figured that nobody would find me there.
Yep.
And I didn't... I mean, So what you're saying is I don't have my gun with me because I didn't have my
That would help us in the story. That's right.
The story, yeah. Okay, so I didn't go and get to my locker and get my gun out first. So now I'm weaponless and cold and trying to eat some of this ice cream before it all melts.
I like it. There probably are gun lockers around and sort of wall-mounted lockers and all that sort of thing, which you normally would be able to grab a weapon when you need it. That's good. You're on deck 3. Down below you on deck 4 is that corridor that we all see in the movie where they came in, which sort of comes into the lowest deck. There are other entranceways onto the ship, more like official ones, but the stormtroopers didn't use those. Awesome. So you were first into the food locker, cowering fearfully with lack of equipment and lack of courage, which is you were badly equipped, caught unawares. Is the safest tactic to withdraw for the moment, to regather and then that was the idea. And then as the hours ticked by,
Exactly.
Johnny, how did you end up in the back of the food locker, at the back of the mess, at the back of the kitchen?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll run this by you, and you can say what happened. I'm thinking maybe I was in the the droid storage and repair ship, doing some work, fixing up an old droid that wasn't functioning as well as it should.
Yep.
And the princess came in, and which was a bit of a shock. And she said something about needing a particular droid, her own droid. And so I was sort of, running around the ship on this errand for the princess.
I love it.
And found myself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And started, running for cover. And every corner I went round, there was another bunch of stormtroopers, and I got all turned around and
nice.
State of panic, found myself here.
Fantastic. I love it. That hissing noise is that sort of frozen air with whoosh, sort of blowing into the thing as the coolants all sort of sink down into the bottom of the refrigeration system, flushing out the last of the air, because of course there's no power and it's completely black and you can't see it anyway, but it's nice and atmospheric. Excellent. Dak Ran. Ironic words, really. Who would have thought you were named after such cowardice? Given the opportunity to resist the stormtroopers and boldly give your life like your compatriots. How did you end up hiding like a coward?
Very much like that, yeah. As a coward, a family coward, it's run in my veins for a very long time. I've lasted so long.
It's literally my last name.
You want to know how we got our last names? Long story. It had to do with cows and everything. I was doing some automation stuff in the kitchen, actually, or around the area, trying to fix up the power, because the power was fluctuating. So I was down there near the power cords, which is right next to the kitchen, because the power and the kitchen being very close. Kitchen, power, and engines are very close to each other at the bottom level. So I was, because that's what takes up, I'm guessing, most of the power. So I was down there working on the power, and when things started going wrong, I ran to the kitchen, because seemed to be the best place to hide. Because who goes to the kitchen looking for anything? You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's right. When Liff Argon
getting out of trouble
came running through the kitchen and basically hid himself in the food storage, and then Zadara sort of dove in there as some stormtroopers came down the corridor outside the mess. She presumably just followed her to the back of the room and into this cold storage. So for a little while, for like half an hour or so, stormtroopers kind of came flushing through the ship, shining lights into the rooms and everything. None of them actually thought to look in the cold storage room, which has got one of those big heavy, those big white doors with seals and one of those big metal handles. Yeah,
Nice.
It is openable from the inside, which is good. And then it kind of got quieter, and then there was definitely some kind of thorough search going on. stormtroopers multiple times came through. Cursory look in the mess. It wasn't really something they were particularly interested in. A few pots and pans and kind of thing. A couple of panels were torn off in the kitchen, but a few cracks open of the cold storage door revealed a quiet ship. That was about sort of 45 minutes ago, and then with a the auxiliary power
that was a good
went
well
down. Yeah, you should do sound design as a living. Yeah, so the auxiliary power went down, and all those lights I mentioned. Yeah, the running lights along the floor, and then the glowing panels on the walls, just slowly faded, and the mess is now in pitch darkness. Gorgeous, Nathan.
Help.
Fantastic.
Are we trapped inside the cold storage?
You're not trapped inside. It does have a safety mechanism to allow people to escape if they accidentally get locked in there, so you don't die.
Okay.
Not enough light.
Over to you. Not enough light loads. That's right.
I'm gonna crack the door open and see if I can have a listen.
You can imagine that sound as those plastic seals, rubbery seals, sort of separate from the surface.
I go along and say, quickly, stop it. No, get down. Let me check. I can check here. I'll have a data pad and see if I can, before I tell them to shh, can I check to see if the data pads, to see if I can see if the cameras, I can turn the cameras on outside and see if we can see what's out in the kitchen.
Oh.
So you have like an interface kind of interfacey
how
data.
they have like they always have the data pads
yeah.
they're always walking around with. I'm assuming
I
as
like
a computer tech head, I would have one of those.
Cool. So why you haven't been using this to light the space since we said it was in darkness, but you
No.
Now that you're fairly sure there's no one out there at all, yeah.
Why would you light up, like, darkness is your friend.
True.
there's a
You're
reason
hiding
we
for your life.
survived yeah.
So there's this cold storage room, and then there's all the a modernish looking kitchen, stainless steel surfaces, white plastic finishes, induction sort of coil heating
Can you imagine
things.
the like fingerprints everywhere with that kind of like white plastic everywhere?
And then there's a door, one of those doors that swings open with a circular portal, which goes out into a mess area, which has all sorts of seats and all that sort of thing. And then there's a door that goes out into the rest of the ship. So you light up your data pad, and what are you trying to do? You're trying to see if the cameras on the ship are running or anything?
Yeah, just basically seeing what I have control access to, and see if I can actually see what's out there via like the control, see if I can see the control or if I can see anything of that nature.
Okay, you quickly get on the screen, network down, no contact made, recheck connection, reconnect. There's a series of options there to try and reconnect to the ship's systems.
Okay, I'll try and reconnect, and as a computer like repairer person, I'm computer programming and repair. Would I be able to know where I would need to go to do something?
So you suspect that the fact that they've dropped auxiliary power and all power has gone from even the running lights or the safety lights, the fact that they're all out means that nothing's powered at all. So none of the network systems, none of the computers would be running. Yes, Derek?
Yeah, we'll have to go to the bridge. Dax.
Possibly not even the bridge. You can probably go to auxiliary power systems, which are actually on this deck at the far end of the ship, just in front of the engines. And you may be able to restart auxiliary power. Depends if it's been destroyed, obviously, then that's a bit more of an issue. But perhaps the stormtroopers or whoever's in control of the ship now has just flicked a switch and turned it off.
Yeah, we had auxiliary power before the ship was boarded, so
yes,
I can't imagine that they would have destroyed it.
That's right. And the main generator also didn't explode. It just went down. It was possibly overloaded by the shields getting hit so much.
Yep.
So it's also possibly restorable, which would get you faster than light power. You can travel slower than light with auxiliary power.
But as a pilot,
we're fairly certain that we're still attached, aren't we?
You don't actually know that even. So I'd say.
But I mean, we heard it
about
when they locked onto us.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like a big.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, the big crash. That's right. So something's locked a docking port on, and you haven't been privy to much, but there were a fair few stormtroopers. So some largest vessel has come up beside you or something, and docked on. whether the ship you haven't. It's been hours, and there was a fair amount of terror involved. So whether maybe you've been released and just left adrift in space, and that's why there's no power. Whether maybe they've just pushed you into the gravity well of a star or a planet, and you're going to sort of, fall
We didn't hear
eventually.
anything.
You didn't hear, yeah. So it's hard to know whether you're still attached. You may still,
right.
we'll see, still be attached. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I'm happy to sneak out and see if we can hear anything.
You know your way around the power systems of this ship, so I'm gonna follow you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Zadara.
But why? It's safe in here. Why would you want to?
There is no life support, so the oxygen level is going to go down, and it's going to get deathly cold.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
Fair.
we're safe. We're safe right now, but we're not safe forever. So we need to.
If we were to take a route that went by one of the weapons lockers, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
I
no?
have a bad feeling about this.
Do you think they're still here? I'm
How
very
well do
concerned.
I know this part of the ship? And
Yeah,
mess.
you know that deck 3, you're almost at the front of the vessel. There's a big storage hold is the only thing that's further forward in the big wide nose of the vessel up above. Oh, no, it's locked off because it's the Princess Suite. That's right. Okay, yeah, which is accessed from a different deck. Okay, you're on deck 3, yes. So yes, you're just about as far forward as you can go before you hit the firewall that behind which is the Princess's Suite. Then there's 2 corridors, one on the left-hand side, one on the right-hand side. You'll come to the turbo laser access shaft, then you'll come to the turbo lifts, and then you'll basically come to auxiliary control and some other systems up at the back just before the engines.
and are there any weapon?
There should be
lockers
weapons
on the way
lockers
there?
up to the there should be a couple on the corridors. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll lead the way, listening carefully. Are there any sounds coming from other parts of the ship?
So you go into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It has been very quiet for quite a long time now. There doesn't seem to be any lights outside through the porthole. The porthole door out into the mess. The only light you have is the light of Dax pad. Is that right?
Pad, yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Which I put on to
that
full. I put the brightness on to full.
It'll last for at least half an hour at that brightness.
Yep.
Batteries weren't so good a long time ago. Yeah.
Haha.
So you inch
What
out
kind of
into
batteries do they put in a blast?
who knows? Something like
Lasers go
kyber
forever.
crystals. That's right. Yeah, they do.
Those lasers would use a lot of power.
Oh yeah.
You know how lasers work.
Huge amount. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you edge out into the kitchen and have a little look at the porthole. It's very, very dark out there. There's certainly no stormtroopers there, kind of eating or lights are all out.
There's no windows to the outside of the ship in this part?
There are no. You're in the middle section. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Ships in Star Wars don't feature many windows. Kind of a thing, isn't it?
It's weird, isn't it?
You can see on the model there. No windows.
No
Yeah.
windows.
Woohoo!
Couple of windows at the front,
Yep, for the bridge.
and that's that.
Okay. All right, we move through the mess hall into
Yeah.
the...
Good. Are you going to take the corridor on your right-hand side to the port side of the ship, or the corridor on your left-hand side to the starboard side of the ship?
Which one leads to the auxiliary control?
Yeah.
The auxiliary power is on the port side, so to the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go that way.
Most direct route.
Excellent. So you're making your way down this corridor in the dark, trying to be super quiet, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep, listening out for danger. It's quite
Why not
terrifying.
have like a flashlight or something? Like even just like a little mini one that I use to look inside machines and things when I'm trying to fix stuff.
Yeah, you normally would. You must have just let go of it at some point in the terror and the confusion.
Real shame.
But you could, if you could get to, I mean, there'll be those sort of plugged into the wall in auxiliary control and other engineering sections. There'll be flashlights you just grab and all sorts of other tools and things like that.
Yep.
You come to where you know the weapons locker will be. Derek?
Okay. I feel around for the opening. Dax,
Excellent.
shine your light.
We normally have a code pad to enter your code, but with the power down, it won't work at the moment.
Can you hack this thing?
I reckon I could try and bust it open, couldn't
Show
I?
me the lock.
I don't know what kind of a check that is.
My code was 1, 2, 3, 4. Needed.
Hang on, you had the secure code?
I don't think that's going to make any difference. It's more a matter of like
Literally breaking open the weapons locker.
yeah.
You look around for something to a tool to use or something.
Yeah.
There might be something back in the kitchen.
Yeah. Or there might be something in the auxiliary power area. Said there'd be tools and things.
Yeah, there'd definitely be
in the engineering
tool things available. Quick,
places.
magnetic up against the wall and things.
And they would have, you'd have like,
How far are we away from the kitchen? Is it like?
So
just
you've
around the corner?
you've just come like 25 meters or so down away from the kitchen. You could just duck back there.
I'll head back and I can't run because I don't have any light.
Yeah,
Dax, can I take your?
nice.
I'll be right back.
Look at the fear in his eyes. He's scared of the dark.
no,
Come with me then.
all right.
Okay, so then we'll all traipse back to the kitchen
Excellent.
and fossick around in drawers and things looking for useful gear.
Excellent.
Found a spatula.
Yes, a spatula.
Might not
You also
quite be
find
like-
a little like a blow torch sort of thing that you burn the tops of things that you want to have a crispy top.
Oh, that'll good. That's
Yeah.
Yes.
You're so
And you find a
descriptive, Ben.
spatula.
The thing that burns the top of things that you want to have crispy on top.
It is very spooky and scary going through these things and with very, very limited light.
It's more the fact that when we drop something small like a fork, it's just like ching, 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 like,
Nice. Let's have a roll and see who is that drops the fork. So we'll just say because it's just whoever gets the worst dex roll drops the fork. 'Cause that's fantastic. It is of course a space
that
fork.
person, whoever made that noise.
What was that?
me.
That was cool.
Are we rolling a
Dex.
hide and sneak?
Just dex, straight dex.
Just dex, straight dex. Yeah, whatever your dex. Top,
Dex
top
would be a
dice
D.
is.
I'm 3D plus 2.
3D plus 2. Yep, excellent.
I got 9.
You got a 9. Is that like?
High.
13.
I got 10.
Was he quiet? Was he quiet? 9. Excellent. So there's sort of going through drawers, and then this terrible moment, Pippin like Zadara, just tips over the edge, and you just watch it almost as in slow motion, and it hits the floor, and goes ding 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 ding, and then echoes. We're in the kitchen, so you through a swingy door, which it automatically swings closed. It's impossible to keep those things open. There'll be a
was
door
that?
out to the mess as well. Yeah. So you sort of you all freeze.
Hold our breath.
Yeah,
I
hold
we
your
hear
breath.
anything?
I slide the dimmer down as we.
I like it. I like it. You don't hear anything, no.
Sadara. Hurry. Shut up.
Good.
alright,
so
so
you
we
you
found
are
a
now
blowtorch.
armed with spatulas. You've got like a stabby fork thing that looks quite stiff and sharp, and for going to small things, you have a blowtorch. It does a little flame.
I've got a like a handle.
Nice.
I feel like that might be sturdy enough to be a
cool.
crowbar.
Yep. Okay. Good. Excellent. You all now well equipped. Shuffle your way.
Is there a fire extinguisher?
Is there luck in
Holy.
this game?
In the kitchen?
I'm just going to say yes. Of course, there's a fire extinguisher, Derek.
I
Yes.
will grab the fire extinguisher.
This
Nice.
is like HMO's safety.
Is it like a little one?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Just to put out.
Yeah, for putting out-
kitchen fire.
for putting
yeah.
out
Yeah.
cooking stove fires.
Cool. Awesome. So it's going to be like a powdery CO2 sort of, yeah.
It's enough to
fantastic.
make atmospheric fog for a firefight.
Yes, that's right. Wow,
Yep.
this is beautiful. So you can see the lasers. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. You all go squeaking back down the corridor, back towards the weapons locker.
Squeaking
Now-
or sneaking?
Sneaking.
There we go. That's
Sneaking. It's a tiny bit of squeaking of your shoes, your rubber-soled
on
space
the-
shoes on the white plastic floor.
surprising when you actually listen for it. Very hard to walk quietly in a spaceship.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone at home
everything's
just
white
pause.
plastic on spaceships.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
the droids do the cleaning. So
Yeah.
I
That's right.
figure it's not adding any workload to any people.
That's right.
those little vacuuming droids that
Yeah.
just go
Yeah,
around
that's
on the
right. They
ground.
literally follow each person along, just sweeping up the floor.
bumping into each other and just being like, oh no.
Awesome. So what are you going to do with this weapons locker?
Well, I was thinking that I could use the blowtorch to like heat up the locking mechanism, to kind of loosen it a bit, and then apply some force with my pot handle.
Okay, cool.
Pop it off.
Awesome.
Maybe heat the hinges and pop it the other way. The lock was probably stronger than the hinges.
And I'm guessing that they want it to be openable with power off.
You would think so.
Yeah. Have a secondary release mechanism or something like that.
Well,
That
you don't want people getting. The power's not going to go out on a vessel, so it's not really. You just type in the code, and there's an override code that everyone knows, and everyone has their own personal code, so you can check out a weapon and all that sort of stuff. So no. Okay, good. So you run this blowtorch at the lock. I like.
I'll hold the blowtorch.
Okay, good. Ah, yeah. Okay, keep applying heat.
yeah, and I'll try and smear it open.
And I
Excellent.
am giving light.
Well, I think
Okay, yeah,
the blowtorch is
you're holding the
providing
light.
No, still feeling useful. Thank you. I'm still feeling very useful as a character.
All right.
And on the lookout.
Is that
I
a
like it.
blowtorch sound?
That's the blowtorch sound.
Nice.
Should we make some kind of a
Yes. In fact,
There you
everyone.
go.
Yeah.
some kind of repair thing? I don't know. We're not really repairing it, are we? We're gonna break it.
I've got a skill in demolition.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
give us a demolition. Yep. And then I suppose you give us a strength check, Johnny.
Not great. I got a 10.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. You're just trying to break open a weapons locker. That's fine.
Strength is not really my strength. I got a 6.
A 6. So yeah. It makes quite a loud creaking noise, but doesn't give way. Kind of makes you just think. Yep.
Can I switch tactics and squirt it with the fire extinguisher
Oh,
to like
now that you've
change the
freeze it,
temperature
then
on it
suddenly-
really
I did.
rapidly?
I did say it was CO2.
yeah.
Nice. That might make the metal brittle.
Yeah,
Wood.
I like it.
I
So
do
you
that.
you shoot it with the fire extinguisher. Excellent. I love it.
Yeah, not sudden hot to cold.
Yeah.
Now that you've heated up the blowtorch.
You can
Genius.
even get the tube and just go dunk. Like it's huge. They're heavy.
I've got like 2 6-shooters. One hot and one cold.
heat cool until it.
That's right.
fire and ice.
Okay, you're going to creak it
nice.
open? To have another go, Johnny? It'll be much easier this time. That's so great. You only need a 5. So you start-
11.
11. It cracks. Little bits of metal shatter and go chung, 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 bouncing out on the floor, making quite the racket.
What's in it?
There are, whatever normal weapons you'd like to grab. There's some heavy blaster rifles in there for sure.
Nice. I'll grab a heavy blaster pistol.
It's when I say, oh, you would have been able to see through the clear glass door that it was actually been emptied, but then no, there's heavy blaster pistols.
And heavy blaster rifles as well, you think?
After all that.
Yeah, heavy blaster. Yeah, whatever you normally got equipped, you can grab one of those.
Cool.
Blaster, yeah,
Is there any
I'll take that.
lights in there?
No. Give me perception checks. Or whatever the
Perception.
Are there any
perception.
grenades?
any grenades. No, you definitely wouldn't want to. Who got
8
8?
on perception.
Johnny?
Not even like stun grenades or anything? What am I rolling? Perception.
Perception, yes.
Sorry, I got distracted by grenades. Happens to the best of us.
I reckon there's a stun grenade in there. I think that's a
12.
great idea, Johnny. Excellent.
12.
You hear a... Did you hear that? What was that? Go and check it out. Coming from right down the end of the corridor. In fact, the other two don't notice at all. You just hear this distant voice.
Hang on, like where we came from corridor or near the auxiliary power
No,
corridor?
so somewhere towards the back of the ship. It's hard to tell because there's long corridors in between you and there. But it's
You
not.
hear that?
You have a kind of a visual all the way down this corridor, and there's certainly not lights appearing there.
I think someone's coming.
We've got to get out of here. Quickly, follow me.
What's the closest doorway to us in this corridor?
So you can head out. There's corridors off to the sides. You know how Leia's off on a side corridor when she's putting the thing into there. So it's not that level. That level is up on deck 1. But these are like officers' quarters. There's bedrooms and things like this. Crew quarters. There's sort of bunk rooms and things like that on the side, on the port side of the ship where you are already.
Yeah, I reckon
There's also the turbo lifts. You're sort of nearish the turbo lifts. There's also the turbo laser access shaft just right behind you. You could hide in there.
Turbo laser access shaft. That sounds like a good idea.
But we need to get
So
power.
an access shaft tends to go up and down. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
We need to.
Cool.
Is it does that allow access to the engineer, the power? Like,
Yeah, I
would
mean,
you be able to go through the power?
auxiliary override control is actually on this level, but you could theoretically go up to another level and then use that to traverse to the back of the ship.
Then go down again.
Yeah, and then go down again. Yeah.
Yes, I think discretion is the better part of valor here, and we should
Okay.
go up.
Yep.
Excellent.
As quick,
Discretion
as
is the
quietly
better
as
part of valor, is what Nathan's character calls running away.
running away.
So
Run is my
withdrawal.
second name. It's excellent. So you quickly squeeze into the turbo access shaft. You can imagine one of those Jeffries tubes climby things like on a Starfleet vessel. This goes all the way down and up and down the whole vessel. So you can go right up into the top. You can go up to level 2, which is a level above, and if you like, traverse there. Well, let's say you climb up and you're going to look out, I suppose, and see if there's
Yeah.
anyone there.
Make sure that this level isn't falling with stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's right. It's like there's 1,000 schools. Good. So you come up to this level.
Han
It's
Solo
also
running out and then running back.
That's right. Yeah. It's completely black and dark up here, and listening very, very carefully, you don't seem to be able to hear any
we get
stormtroopers on this
torches?
level.
In the
You
armory?
didn't get torches. You should still be. I keep promising torches in engineering for sure. So you can now theoretically traverse to the back of the ship. Behind you on this level, by the way, on deck 2 is the bridge, which may or may not be sealed off, but just tiny little bit of temptation, Derek, as if this ship is really abandoned and empty, the bridge is available, and you've always wanted to see the bridge of one of these. Never been to the bridge on this particular vessel. At home, been to the bridge, we'll say the cockpit of many smaller things, but it can't be that different, can it? Good. So you're going to go to the rear of the ship, and then there's hyperdrive system control, and sort of all the faster than light stuff on this level. And if you go down one level through the same access sort of climby things, you should be able to get down to auxiliary control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, good. So you make your way down the length of deck 2.
Yep.
There's shielding systems, science and medical. There's the officers' meeting room. It's all very shiny, this part of the vessel. Not somewhere where you're normally allowed or present unless you're coming up to repair something. There's sick bay, which is obviously well equipped, as you've seen sick bays. And then you come to hyperdrive control, which is the level above on the port side, and it's shiny as like the absolute state-of-the-art computers. There's even some sort of touch control systems and things like that, which you don't normally get to use. Auxiliary control is all good old-fashioned switches, which you can be literally repaired and physically route things like that. So yeah, it's it's beautiful. It's beautiful. There are there's not going to be lights on this level because of course it's never going to lose power. So then you all climb down. Climb down one of those things.
Yep.
Yep.
This is
Listening carefully.
That's right. So let's say you listen
voices.
first. So give us perception checks again. At
Check for traps.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, and there is a stun grenade, by the way, Johnny. You did find one.
I got a 12.
Excellent. I got a
12.
9.
8. We're really not
8.
that good at looking or thinking.
I might be going. I might be taking point considering I've got the blaster gun.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh,
So you
I've got a
listen.
blaster too.
Yeah, we've all got blasters.
You listen, and you are now a fair. You certainly don't hear anything. Maybe the sounds were from the other side, from the starboard side of the vessel or something on that level, and there's like a whole nother set of rooms and another corridor. There's 2 parallel corridors, so you imagine rooms, corridor, central thing including the turbo lifts, corridor, and then the rooms that are on the starboard side of the vessel. That's the way it's laid out. Cool.
So if I was to, maybe throw something to create a distracting noise.
Yep.
The best place would be to maybe throw it towards the corridor that leads to the starboard side of the ship to make them think that we were over that side rather than this side.
That's right. If you needed to, that's right. But you're now nowhere near there at all. You're in engineering, which is this whole block of stacked rooms at the rear of the vessel. The only thing behind you is now the engines, and you can go down to auxiliary control. And it's a door out of auxiliary control to get to the corridors.
Okay.
Anyway, so you make your way down the steps safely. Same thing.
Yep.
It's still very dark in there, and you're in familiar territory. Here are the computer systems that Dak and Zadara have worked on the engineering parts and the computery systems.
I just want the Wi-Fi back on, essentially.
Yeah, that's right.
So you start the router.
Excellent. So you find some of those little hand torchy things, which are magnetic up against. You can probably each take one. This does have like a door going out to the corridors. You have a little sneaky peek out there, I suppose.
Yep, sure.
Cool.
I don't want to shine a light down there.
No. Okay, good. So you just crack open the door to see if there's light out there at all.
Yeah.
Okay, give us perception check, Derek.
The stormtroopers don't have night vision, so...
No.
13.
Excellent. So I should just show you this map a little bit now that I've described some of it. Would be good to put this up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you're in auxiliary control, which you can see is on the port side here.
Okay.
Yep, okay, port is that side. Starboard. No, yeah, port. Okay, wow, it's reflected in the picture. That's cool. Yeah, okay. And then there's this angled corridor. So that angle, in the shot in the movie, they come in, the stormtroopers and Vader come in this corridor, and then there's a left-hand turn. And yeah, there's these 2 parallel corridors on either side of the central block of rooms.
Got it.
Princess's quarters on the level you're on now. Yeah, a stack of different, it's faster than light. So yeah, so you just hear a little bit of chatter, a little bit of light just spilling out, sort of round the corner a tiny bit.
Okay. The stun grenade, Johnny.
Yeah.
Could you set it up so that if somebody opens the door, like from the other side, that it goes off?
I think I could probably rig something like that.
That's cool.
It's literally just going to be a bit of string attached to the door, because it's a sliding door. Attached to the trigger.
This is where gaffer tape comes into play.
We've got all that kind of stuff.
You do. This is the room for it.
This is cool.
From this level, this is how this is how you access the deep engine crawlways, to go into the engine systems from this level. You don't obviously do that from hyperdrive control. People don't lie down and scrabble through oily engines and things. Yeah. Excellent. So if you want to get this system going, someone needs to investigate what's wrong with auxiliary control and potentially switch it on.
I would like to have a look at
me.
that.
Yeah, I am pretty useless at this point.
So this is mechanical stuff.
Yeah.
So first thing you do is rig up a stun grenade on the door so that if the door is pulled open from the other side, it will go off.
Yes.
Excellent. I will also cover the door whilst
Excellent.
the other 2
Okay. While you set that up. Okay, good. Can you give me a check to see whether you supremely stuff this up or not?
Which one?
Johnny.
Oh, the grenade.
The grenade, yeah.
Okay.
Is that a grenade skill?
Is it? Well, it's not really. I'm not really using. I'm not throwing.
Yeah,
It's a dex thing. Throwing the grenade.
Yeah, it's more of an electronics. More of a mechanical
demolition?
thing.
Would that be Derek?
It could be. Yes, demolition indeed.
Me? Can I?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Demolition,
I mean,
and
you
then Johnny
You could set that up while we start working.
Yeah.
On the...
Okay. Demolition is precisely what it is. It's setting up
17.
charged explosions to go on. 17.
Yeah.
You set this up
Pretty good.
like a perla. It's gonna. Yeah. You've even got it set up so that you can get out the door if you need to in a hurry. You just need to crack the door open, reach it, and yank the string in a certain way. It'll disconnect and not go off.
Sorry.
But yeah.
Just one question. There are 2 doors coming into this section, right? So.
Well, there's doors that go out to the engine way, and there's another access to another turbo laser, and there's some turbo lifts in there as well. But no, there's mainly one door. Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm good.
Good.
Ooh,
okay. Meanwhile,
well done.
you investigate what's wrong with auxiliary power.
Yeah. So this is starship repair.
Yep. Excellent. You don't even need to do that.
All right.
You can see there's a large main power switch, which has been switched from off. That's right. It's what normally should be in the on position. It's in the off position.
So the difficulty on this roll is I need to roll higher than a 1 with
That's
4D.
right. Yes, exactly. That's right.
Here's the thing: can we turn it on without actually turning everything on so they know that it's on? Like, can we turn it on?
That's right. That's the big issue. A, it's going to make quite a big sound, and B, all the lights are going to come on all over the entire ship, which is going to be pretty obvious that someone's turned on
Can we immediately
power.
switch off? Can we have it so that like it only turns on certain functions?
Because I did promise that there were mechanical switches in this area, you could isolate whole sections of the vessel quite easily, actually, before you even have to switch it on. So if you'd like to turn off, corridor lights, you can do that. You can turn off. You can have the bridge on or off.
But basically, there's a fuse box, and we can just rip out
pull a whole lot of those
fuses we
babies out.
want.
That's right. Yep, totally, absolutely. So what do you want to come on, and what don't you want to come on?
Security. So cameras.
Security's on.
Security
Yep,
cameras.
okay.
We want to have access via Wi-Fi. So computers we want to come on.
Yep.
But not physical screens. So we want all screens to turn off. We want computers to come on. We want, because I've got data access, so I can still.
Yep.
What do you think,
it.
Johnny? What else? Droids, security droids.
Something in you, Liff, says that it'd be nice to have the bridge functioning, and
Right.
But the problem is that if you turn on anything that's going to power up the engines, is going to be problematic.
Yeah.
Can we have the life support system turn on?
Yeah.
So that we can breathe good air.
That's true. It's getting a little stuffy. Okay, I like that. At least you could initially turn on the cameras so you can have a look around the vessel and life support, which should be relatively quiet.
Can I create a program once we get started? We discussed this beforehand. To create a ghost that starts tripping alarms all around the ship.
Ooh.
So
I love it.
So we can have it so the ghost, you get the alarms start buzzing at the far end right when we're in the back end left.
I love it. That sounds fantastic.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So you do that. So you set all that up ready to go as far as we understand each other, obviously.
And fire off a lifeboat. Just one of them. Why not?
Well, you'll be able to tell if there's any lifeboats available once you switch things
the
on.
computer system's back on,
Okay.
All right. Hit it. Just imagine it's one of those really old school hour lever things.
No, it's got to be the ones in where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got to do the opposite of what.
No, they're the ones he pulls down. The one he pulls down from the ceiling on a string, isn't it?
Yep. But in the Death Star,
excellent. So you can hear the engine systems coming up.
Yeah.
Obviously, from from your perspective as an engineer and electronics and a resident of the ship, it's fairly obvious that the essential qualities of the state of the ship have changed, as there's a familiar hum of auxiliary power functioning.
But a stormtrooper in his armor
That's
might
right.
not notice.
That's what you're going to count on. Excellent. Systems come up. Your iPad blinks from retrying connection. To blink, and then there's dot, and then somewhere deep inside there's a handshake happening, and then bling, connected. It comes up on the screen.
I quickly do a social status. Still alive.
Oh my god! Totally stuck inside.
Hey guys,
Who would have thought?
Ready?
Yep.
Cue Instagram.
That's right.
Yep.
Priorities.
It's marked
That's right.
as safe.
That's right. Yes, totally stuck down a drain.
In rebels.
Yeah. keep on keep on rebelling.
Gee, hope I make it back to Alderaan. No sense of irony. Excellent. Good. You have auxiliary power, a control of cameras, and the ability to maybe set off some alarms and things like that around the ship. That
I look
great.
at the.
Cool.
I'm
You
gonna
look at the cameras.
look at cameras outside of our base, and quickly just do a
Excellent.
scan on life, just to quickly do a inventory scan. How many people on the
Okay.
ship? Where are they?
Okay, I'm just
Who are
gonna-
they?
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So, just saying, you will be aware that little green lights will go pink on cameras all over the vessel, and there's just no way of stopping that.
23 on computer program
Okay,
and
good.
repair.
So you're as fast as you can. You can do a scan. You're scanning. You're flicking,
so high.
swiping through the different
just like-
cameras. And what you manage to determine is that there seems to be the only part of the vessel that has stormtroopers in it is that curved corridor on the starboard side of deck 3.
Got it.
So down there.
And is that the door that I have?
You're up in auxiliary control up on this
okay.
side with a booby trap on the door here. And it looks like that door which is all blasted. Sorry, the door which you blasted open. Which was blasted open in the movie by the stormtroopers coming through.
No, you're not gonna.
Is this one here? Is this one here? And
It's that one there. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay. Good, and that's all still blasted open, and there's a bit of an ad hoc guard still standing there. A couple of bored-looking stormtroopers. Let's say 4. A couple standing at the door, and a couple standing just talking. You can't hear what they're saying.
Is the door open?
The door has a massive hole in it, and is burst through because they blew up through it.
Is there beyond there? Is there? We are still attached to another ship then.
You'd figure there'd be a rather serious amount of vacuuming out into space going on if there wasn't something still attached to it, like an airlock of another vessel. That's right.
Okay, and I just. Yeah.
Yep.
Can you show?
The rest of the vessel seems to be completely
that?
abandoned and empty, including the bridge and the princess's suite, which you definitely don't spend too long looking.
Yeah, and so. But I'd be able to see
bridge
outside,
looks
like I
cool.
do a scan. Yeah, no, not yet. We'll look at that a second.
You don't have any access to external shots of the vessel.
Can I do
Outside is not something you're normally meant to worry about. You imagine on a bridge they'd have access to that sort of stuff, and even a window.
The gunners would have it.
Yes, in their gun. Yes, if you went to a turbo laser, you'd imagine there'd be plexiglass access.
Yeah.
Ben doesn't want us to know if we're still attached or not. Okay.
I have so many questions. So if we were to get to a turbo laser,
Yes.
no, that's a problem for when we get to the turbo laser, I guess. If we were to detach from a ship, if we were attached, you're saying that there would be a vacuum.
Yeah, but
Safety.
there'd be safety doors that you could slam down and all that sort of stuff.
There,
And
there
there's,
would be things that we could prevent. Okay.
Well, now that auxiliary power's on, yes. There's also shielding. There's shields that protect. That's what they did in the newer episode. 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
They did. That's right. But so they don't exist yet. That's right.
Well, no, it's only a few years onwards, Benjamin. We're not talking decades, right? We're talking about basic functionality of shield.
It's just a long time ago, not a long time ago. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So my suggestion is that we create a distraction and that people come through the door in trying to investigate if there's people still on the ship and they trip the stun grenade, and then we just mop them up afterwards. What do people think about that?
Are you
Well, I can
watching the footage of the only stormtroopers you know where they are at the moment? Is
Yep.
that what the camera's sitting on?
Yep.
You see one of the stormtroopers point to another one, and he heads off down the corridor
Towards.
towards the main corridor section, which would then be turning towards where you are. Yeah.
Potentially.
did I
coming
switch to that
towards us.
camera?
Ah, yes, nice. So the stormtrooper is walking
Thus-
with some purpose towards auxiliary control.
Oh, I pull out my gun.
I'm like, they're on their way. They're on
Yep.
their way.
Oh yeah. So I think we should like position ourselves strategically around
Yep.
this door.
And also, as soon as they come, as close as they come, as soon as they get right there, I'm going to turn on everything. Just completely power the ship
Nice.
from auxiliary.
Excellent. So he's walking towards auxiliary control.
Okay, so
It's just one of them. There's three you can see back in the other shot. They're
it's just
staying
one of
at
them.
the
Okay, no, I
at the
won't-
busted
yeah.
airlock. Yeah.
Okay.
Hang
we're
on,
not
hang
gonna
on,
get
hang on,
caught in
hang
the
on.
blast of this.
I've got an idea.
We're,
Yeah, yeah,
I've got
yeah.
another idea.
Talk quick.
Yeah.
Talk quick.
Is there an R2 droid in this
Yeah,
area?
of course. It's the auxiliary power place.
If you'd like there to be one, I'm happy for there to be one, Johnny. That sounds like a great idea.
What if we sent an R2 droid out into the corridor
with
just
a
as
stun
this guy's
grenade
about to
strapped
arrive?
Yep.
Not to trip the stun grenade, but
That's
to
just-
make it look like that was what was going on.
Dude,
That it
great
wasn't
idea.
Us, it was the droid.
Okay, so super fast, you disable the stun grenade. Is that right? Is what you're going to do?
Yeah, I don't need to disable it because I can open the door without setting it off.
Yep, because you're a genius and you got 27, which is like more than I could possibly count. Excellent. So you quickly, so you just
Yeah,
basically send
25
out
is your
the droid with some sort of message or like a plan, or it's just going to bumble out into the corridor.
No, it's
Just
just going
gonna
to bubble out in the corridor and
Head out into the
towards-
corridor and head straight towards this guy. As he's
Okay,
coming.
and then all of you are hiding. You're going to leg it up into hyperdrive or something, up into hyperdrive system control straight above, and
I like that idea.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
We don't need to stay in auxiliary control anymore, so I think,
I love
if
it.
we head up.
excellent. So good. So you hear this. Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Oh,
That was great. I mean, I wish Sirenscape had those.
oh, hang on,
sounds, but
I do, don't I?
I know you do. That's why I said it.
What's it called? Shipboard. Oh, that's so disappointing. That sound has been in Sirenscape literally since 2013.
Oh,
Okay, right. You hear it, right. Rewind. No one knew that I stuffed it up, right. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I love it. Excellent. Oh, shut up, you stupid thing. Hey, T-32. Yes, it's just a bloody astromech droid. I think he, I don't know, I think he repaired auxiliary control or something. What do you mean, repaired? Well, he just came, he came straight out of auxiliary control. And the astromech's like bumping into his leg or something, you know.
Yeah,
Get off his shit. Oh,
Like humping his leg. It's like, what?
that's right, yeah.
yeah. Just generally
What do I
annoying.
do? Just switch it off again, you fool. No, I don't even know how to do that. Oh, God, I'm coming over. Just get rid of that thing.
Oh, we could take out two of them.
Yeah.
So the other guy starts coming towards, if you look at your little data pad, he heads off and
Yeah,
says something to the other guards, and they nod and whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
These stormtroopers remind me of the stormtroopers in The Mandalorian.
Uh-huh.
You seen that episode? The really dumb conversation they have for like. I don't know what's going on, like, oh, it's so good. Yeah, when they've got Baby Yoda, but they don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's super
Do you
cool. I
wanna-
haven't seen that.
Such a good
That's right.
scene.
They're
These
shooting
are
a
the
rock.
two
They can't
guys
do
on
that.
the bikes. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can't, they're like shooting the rock and they're like.
So you do have stun setting. You'd have stun settings on your blasters, which are a fair bit quieter than the full blaster shots.
Yeah.
These
And does
two.
the stun grenade make a huge amount of noise when it goes off, or is it just a bright flash.
Yeah, certainly not a massive explosion shattering all sorts of things. It's like a really, really bright. It's just like a sonic sort of a pressure wave thing. Yeah. Good.
Do we
So
wanna-
there's. Yep.
Yes.
You got moments before they get there.
Yeah, do you want to chuck the stun grenade at them? I detach it from the wall and hand it to.
Okay, so you quickly go back
To
down
Zara.
into auxiliary control, and
I don't think we'd started going up yet.
No, we
We
hadn't
were
left
just-
yet.
Yeah.
You were just
readying
about to leave and you heard
ourselves.
this conversation. Okay,
And
cool, cool.
Yeah.
So the
there's two
droid
of them
the
there.
droid has got a fair bit down the corridor. You should be able to reach out and grab the stun grenade from outside the door before anyone comes around the corner. You quickly grab that. Okay, and then what? You're going to go up the Jeffrey's tube type thing and then throw it down into the room when the two stormtroopers are there. Is that the
I
idea?
don't think they're gonna. Are they gonna come into the room now, or have they given up on that?
You think
I
they're
guess they're
planning
gonna
on
come
they're gonna turn auxiliary power back off again, but the other
Yeah.
guy didn't know how to do it, so his superior officer is going to come and help him.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we can.
Oh,
take
we could
the
just
stun
leave it
grenade.
attached to the door then, because they'll just open the door and
Oh,
come
yeah.
into auxiliary power, and it'll go.
That makes way
Yeah.
more sense.
Let's do
Yep. Okay, so good. Okay, so you're just about to pull it as according to my plan, and then you suddenly realize, hang on, I can just leave it there, and you just
Leave it.
whoa, and you're like, and then you quickly go up the as quiet as possible. Excellent. There's a sound for sonic weapons. Sonic heavy.
Boom.
Excellent. Yeah, good. So yeah, you watch on your data pad as these two silent because there's no sound on these cameras, and they come round and he
But they
puts
got
his hand on the
smell in it,
door
surprisingly.
and he gives it a big push, a big pull, and this thing just goes off. And you hear the sound. Yeah, it's like pretty brain rattling, even from where you are up in engineering, and then up the Jeffrey's tube, and they both collapse on the ground.
Yep.
What do you do
Alright.
now?
Woohoo! We celebrate
How's the
a little
R2
bit,
unit?
and
Yay!
The R2 unit is just still trying to hump one of them on the ground now.
I want to make a bit of a beeline for the bridge because I want to see outside the ship.
Excellent. Okay,
You
good.
want to see the
So
bridge? Let's be honest.
on level 2,
No.
back up on level 2, the level where the bridge is. You know,
Hang on,
there's
how much
storm-
of auxiliary did we end up switching on before we left?
Everything but lights and function. Like it'll have everything. Once we get up there, we can still access it via the pad and be able to turn things on and off.
Okay, good.
Oh,
So
cool.
okay. So you tried to pull
didn't wanna have
out
to come back again.
yeah, that's good. So you haven't started the engines, but you didn't need to start the engines anyway. You've got control. You've got computer control. You definitely pulled the switch on all the lighting internal of the ships. So you couldn't turn off those little green lights that come on the camera, which the stormtrooper rolled a lot in order to notice, which is very, very cool.
Oh.
Up on deck 2, the fancy deck, you're legging it down the corridors with a fair amount of less quietness as your shoes squeak on the shiny white plastic towards the bridge to open, to look at
Much
that
more
front
polished.
view panel, and it is much more polished, and potentially start the ship and fly away to safety, or who the heck knows what. And we shall
Well,
take
let's
a
see
break
what's
there.
outside.
Yay!
It's outside.
Awesome work.
Oh no!
Bye, everyone.
All right, we'll be right back, or maybe like there'll be another video after this.